What happens when two souls become so intertwined that they can't exist apart, yet can't survive together? Welcome to SherlockMode. In the quiet Welsh town of Haverfordwest, a psychological mystery began that would baffle experts for decades. April 1963. Twin girls were born to Barbadian immigrants Gloria and Aubrey Gibbons at a military hospital in Yemen. June and Jennifer Gibbons appeared normal at first, but something strange began to emerge as they grew. By age 3, they had made a pact that would shape their entire existence. They would speak only to each other. The family settled in Wales, where the twins faced relentless bullying as the only black children in their school. Their speech impediment made communication difficult, driving them deeper into their private world of silence. They developed their own language, a rapid-fire version of Bajan Creole that only they could understand. In public, they moved in perfect synchronization, like marionettes controlled by the same invisible puppeteer. If threatened, they would freeze into catatonia, their bodies rigid as boards, faces expressionless as dolls. At home, they refused to sit in the same room as their family, watching TV from the staircase if necessary. Their mother would leave food outside their bedroom door, like offerings to mysterious entities. In 1974, a medical professional named John Rees noticed something disturbing during a routine school checkup. The twins showed no reaction to being vaccinated. Rees described their behavior as doll-like, unnervingly vacant. Behind their bedroom door, however, a rich creative world flourished that no one suspected existed. They created elaborate plays with handmade dolls and broadcast their own radio show called Radio Gibbons, The Living Facts of Life. At 14, they were sent to separate boarding schools in a desperate attempt to break their silence. The experiment failed catastrophically. Separated, they became completely catatonic, like plants withering without sunlight. June became so rigid that it took 2 people to move her from bed, her body stiff and heavy as a corpse. Reunited, they withdrew even further, communicating with their parents only through written notes slid under doors. At 16, they discovered writing, taking a correspondence course and developing a passion for fiction. Their bedroom became a fortress of creativity, filled with diaries, poems, stories, and novels written in tiny script. They self-published a novel called The Pepsi-Cola Addict about a teenager seduced by his teacher. Their writings revealed disturbing themes, violence, murder, and psychological torment were common elements. But beneath the surface of their creative partnership lurked a toxic relationship of love and hatred. June wrote of Jennifer, "She wants us to be equal. There is a murderous gleam in her eye. I am scared of her." Jennifer wrote, "We have become fatal enemies in each other's eyes. We feel the irritating, deadly rays come out of our bodies." June described Jennifer as a dark shadow robbing me of sunlight, my one and only torment. Jennifer questioned, "Without my shadow, would I die? Without my shadow, would I gain life, be free, or left to die?" Their relationship turned violent. Jennifer once tried to strangle June with a cord. June attempted to drown Jennifer in a river. At 18, bored with merely writing about life, they ventured into the real world, discovering boys, alcohol, and drugs. Jennifer wrote, "God knows what memories would be mine had that summer not told me the secrets of lovely passion and sex." They lost their virginity to the same boy within a week of each other, Jennifer first, then June. This sexual rivalry intensified their love-hate relationship to dangerous levels. In October 1981, they embarked on a 5-week crime spree that would change their lives forever. They vandalized property, committed petty theft, and most seriously, set fire to a tractor store, causing $200,000 in damage. Bizarrely, they would call the police themselves to report their crimes, then be found at the scene, silent and expressionless. After their 4th arson attempt, they were finally arrested. Police discovered their diaries, which contained detailed confessions. June later admitted, "We were the ones doing all this crime. They had it there in black and white." In court, they remained silent, offering only a few grunts that were interpreted as guilty pleas. A psychiatrist diagnosed them as psychopaths, though this was later disputed by mental health experts. At just 19 years old, they were sentenced to indefinite detention at Broadmoor Hospital, Britain's highest security mental institution. The twins were the youngest women ever sent to Broadmoor, where they would share the facility with notorious killers. June later recalled, "We were excited to go to Broadmoor. We were too young to understand." Inside Broadmoor, they encountered infamous criminals like Ronnie Cray and the Yorkshire Ripper, Peter Sutcliffe. They were placed on high doses of antipsychotic medications that left them unable to concentrate. Jennifer developed tardive dyskinesia, a neurological disorder causing involuntary, repetitive movements. For 11 years, they remained in Broadmoor, their only solace found in filling diary after diary with their thoughts. June later said, "We got 12 years of hell because we didn't speak. Juvenile delinquents get 2 years in prison." Journalist Marjorie Wallace became fascinated by their case and began visiting them regularly. Wallace discovered their writings and was stunned by their literary talent and the darkness of their inner world. Through Wallace, the twins began to speak more, revealing the complex love-hate relationship that defined their existence. As the years passed, a disturbing belief took hold between them, that for one to be free, the other must die. Wallace recalled, "They had decided that the moment they left Broadmoor, one would have to die to liberate the other." In March 1993, after 11 years, they were finally to be transferred to a lower security clinic in Wales. The day before their transfer, Jennifer told June, "I'm going to die. You'll be free." June thought it was a joke, but during the journey, Jennifer slumped against her shoulder. June later testified she was sleeping with her eyes open. Upon arrival at Caswell Clinic, Jennifer was unresponsive. She was rushed to a hospital but died hours later. The cause of death was determined to be acute myocarditis, a sudden inflammation of the heart. No evidence of drugs or poison was found in her system. Her death remains medically unexplained. The most chilling aspect, immediately after Jennifer's death, June began to speak normally for the first time in her life. When Wallace visited days later, June told her, "I'm free at last, liberated, and at last Jennifer has given up her life for me." June described Jennifer's death as a tsunami, washing her of her sins and being free of her sister. June was released a year later and began living a quiet, normal life in West Wales, near her parents. In 2023, June broke her silence in a BBC podcast, telling her story in her own words for the first time. She explained, "We had a speech impediment. Nobody understood, so we stopped talking." Let us analyze this extraordinary case. Was Jennifer's death natural, suicide, or something more supernatural? Some believe Jennifer sacrificed herself through sheer will, shutting down her own body to free her sister. Others suggest a shared psychosis, where June's desire for Jennifer's death somehow manifested physically. The medical explanation, acute myocarditis, offers little clarity, as the condition is rarely fatal in young people. What remains undeniable is the extraordinary psychological bond that bound these twins in life and perhaps in death. June herself offers the most haunting explanation. "I don't know why Jennifer died, but she had to die. That was our destiny." The silent twins remain one of psychology's most disturbing mysteries, a story of identity, obsession, and the dark side of twinship. Their case forces us to question, how thin is the line between profound connection and dangerous obsession? And what happens when two people become so entangled that one must cease to exist for the other to truly live? If you enjoyed unraveling this mystery, like and subscribe to Sherlock Mode.